Hello, Sacred Earth friends. Michelle here. I thought I would do a reading today. Today is 11/11, and as many of you know, 11 and 11 is a very important energetic gateway that we enter through each year. And this one in 2020, you know, just because we're in this year of 2020 where we're going through this massive shift and change. It takes on a lot of special meaning and importance. And I remember one 11/11 gateway that completely changed my world. And at the time, I had no idea that I was actually walking through this portal of energy. I'm up here at Etiwanda Falls. It's a beautiful place here, nice hike, lots of people here today. The energy is great. It's really beautiful here. So anyway, as I was saying, when I went through that 11/11 gateway back on 11/11/11, the year 2011, many people walk through this energetic gateway, and I had no idea how my life would change. And I remember making a wish on that day, but I don't remember really understanding what was about to happen. So here in 2020, I think we're kind of at that same point. It's really kind of the end of a cycle, along 9-year cycle. So I just wanted to do a little reading today on that. Well, not specifically on that, but actually we want to look at the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius on December 21st, winter solstice. It's at 0 degrees of Aquarius, and the planet Jupiter and Saturn will come in an exact conjunction at that time. And the way I see this energy, just kind of like, what I've been thinking about and what I've been getting for it is it's kind of a push and a pull energy. And it reminds me very much of the energy of like a washing machine, where the agitator in the middle, it goes back and forth. And recently my washing machine broke and the agitator stopped working. It just, my clothes wasn't getting clean, and it was just kind of like the water was just sitting there, so I had to call someone to fix it. But it reminds me very much of that energy where you have this sort of like energetic, like pushing and pulling. So let's look at the planets. So we have Saturn, the planet of limitation, restriction, boundaries, governments, ruled by Capricorn. And it's where we have to put all our hard work and effort in life. It is just the hard work and the restrictions and limitations. It's a great planet to work with when you want to get the job done. Okay, it's very much about being human on Earth. It's it's having to do the hard work to get done what needs to get done. Okay. And so wherever Saturn is placed in your chart is an area where you have to work a little bit extra harder in order for, it can feel a little heavy in that part of the chart. So it's an area of life. Everybody has one area of life that feels heavy. So then there's Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of, it's a teacher, it's the planet of growth and expansion. And Jupiter, it wants to grow, it wants to expand, it wants to move forward. And it's all about the truth, okay? The sign of Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter, it's all about truth. And everything that Jupiter comes in contact with, it makes bigger, okay? It magnifies. It's the great benefic. And you could look at Saturn as being a malefic planet, okay? And so when you have these two energies coming together, it's a push and a pull, okay? And it's a point of contention. It's about agitation, okay? It's a kind of an agitating energy. But when you think about like a washing machine, right? And how without that agitation, the clothes don't come clean, right? We need that agitation. So that's kind of what's happening in our world as a collective is you could look at it like the agitation is necessary for the clothes to get clean. So we're going through a great cleansing and purification, and those two meeting at the 0 degrees in Aquarius. 0 degree is like a crack or a portal, energetic portal, and happening on the 21st, which is another shift in seasons, right? So it's an ending and a beginning, is very, very telling, very auspicious to have that those energies happening together. And so I look at it as Jupiter and Saturn are coming together to herald in what we would call the golden age, okay? So, you know, when the actual golden age, which we're talking about the age of Aquarius, the beginning of the golden age, when it begins is up for debate because, you know, we only have an idea of time or cycles of time. We're not exactly sure of the beginning or the ending points. They could vary. And so but technically, you know, people thought 2012 was, you know, a big significant point, and it was, but there was still much work to be done at that time in 2012 by many on the path of awakening, and enough people were not awakened at that time as they are now, in order to fully, you know, bring in that golden age. So this pivotal moment in time, 2020, with these two planets coming together, could be that. Okay, maybe. So it's said. We don't have all the answers, but if you look at the energy of Aquarius, Aquarius is, I'm just stretching my legs out here a little bit. Aquarius is a sign of innovation. Aquarius is a sign of technology and marching to the beat of a different drummer. It's about the collective energy. It's opposite of Leo. Leo is about the individual shining, whereas Aquarius is about the collective, right? And Aquarians tend to be very much caring about the collective and what happens to the group or the whole. They tend to kind of want to blend in sometimes, unless they're working with some Leo stuff where there's the need to be in the spotlight. So sometimes we vacillate back and forth between these two polarities. So that's happening. And then also Saturn is going to move. It was retrograde back in Capricorn for a while there, and it's going to be moving back into Aquarius, and it'll stay there for a while. So that we're going to be working with the Aquarian archetype energy quite a bit, going into this next couple of years. Okay, so that can feel like a bit of restriction for the collective. It could feel like this need to sort of break loose or break free, because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, and it is a planet of liberation. It's coming from a higher source. You could look at the Aquarian energy as this very quick electrical energy coming in from source, and it can make quick changes. Okay, so where is Uranus right now? If we're looking at Aquarius, we need to look at where Uranus is. So Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, okay, which rules, you know, it's an earth sign, and it rules financial markets. So we could see changes or unexpected things that happen in financial markets. It also is about the earth energy, so the actual land itself. So we've already experienced, you know, different events in weather and earthquakes and, you know, fires and things like that, things that affect the land. So that's because Aquarius is in the sign of Taurus, okay? Taurus is also ruled by Venus, so it's about the sensual pleasures in life. It's about the things we like to do, the sweet things in life. And so we've already experienced sudden and unexpected changes there with all the restrictions to these things we like to do, right? The pleasures in life. So, and then I believe Uranus is, now I'm kind of like not being a super precision astrologer here. I really use astrology as a divination tool, or like almost like a little bit of a permission slip to look at the energies, you know. So I believe it, though, it's going to be making a square aspect or already is, to the Saturn and the Pluto energies that are in Capricorn, the ones that have been affecting us a lot. So we have these areas of challenge, right? All these adjustments that have to be made. And so moving forward with Saturn and Jupiter coming together, heralding in this portal, this opening, heralding in the golden age, This is an aspect of justice, okay? This is an aspect of diplomacy and morality, and not that I'm not into necessarily like, moral preaching. I believe we're all evolving and everything is an experience. So when I say that, I use the term very loosely. But what I'm referring to is integrity, and I'm referring to this is an aspect of justice, okay? You have people who have this in their astrology charts. They tend to be very cautiously optimistic. They can be very generous, and but they do it in a very sort of like controlled way and a very cautious way, and they don't just go off on a whim, go big or go home kind of thing. They really do like to very cautiously move forward and analyze the situation as they go. Okay, so so that's something that we need to consider looking at this. I think I have someone coming up the trail here, so let me just stop the video for a moment. An agitation, an area of agitation. Okay, they went the other way, so that happens. I kind of expected it. So we can expect that, right? We can expect things to sort of like stop us in our tracks and throw us off course too. So let's get back to the meaning of these though. So in the sign of Aquarius, there's going to be something related to the theme of justice, related to group consciousness, okay? So what is affecting the whole? What is affecting the group? And we know that we're in this sort of post-election window where everything is unclear. Now we have to remember, Neptune has been making influences all through last year and this year, okay? Last year it was Neptune and Jupiter, and this year it's, I think, Neptune and Mercury, okay? So the communication is unclear, okay? So there's been this sort of covering up or shrouding of the truth, okay? To the point where, like, if you're really following like news and social media and things like that, you're not going to see the truth. You're not going to get the truth from those sources, okay? We really do have to be discerning. The fog needs to be lifted, okay? The fog has not quite been lifted. So that's what we're going to be looking at moving forward. Justice, what is fair for the group, and sort of this pushing forward and with control. It's like a controlled optimism sort of thing, okay? There could be some technological things, advances that are made in this next window. So some of it, we've already seen the onslaught of technology and how it has affected us during this crisis, and how it is, pretty much influenced our lives in terms of work and, just how we get our groceries, how we get our food, and that kind of thing. We really do rely a lot more heavily on the technology more than we have ever before. So that's Aquarius, okay? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards and just take a look and see what the cards have to say about the Aquarian energy. And so let's see. I'm going to pull a signpost card to sort of be the overall influence or theme of the reading. And then I'll pull some other cards to sort of look at the energies, and then we'll do a final card, okay? So a wrap-up card. So I'm pulling from the Earth Magic deck today, okay? So just give it a quick shuffle. Oh, okay. Love it. This is so perfect for the setting I'm in. This one flew out, and it's Forest, Breath. And coming here today, I had the intention of, taking in the energies of the tree angels here. I like to call them tree angels. And so the tree angels have spoken, okay? So, so breath. Now, this is very appropriate because I also see this as a time where we're supposed to slow down. And I know this is not exactly what people want to hear, because we feel like we've slowed so much down to the point of stopping almost. But again, everything is pointing to that this is a very necessary time and that we have to take a breath. Okay? Get outside. Enjoy the beauty around you. Enjoy the forest. Allow the elemental energies to heal your body, to heal your mind and your spirit. Okay, so take a breath. And then, even when I was pulling in the parking lot here, trying to find a parking place, it was crowded and the parking lot was completely full. There's lots of people here today. And I thought to myself, well, I'm just going to pull over a little bit. I'm just going to patiently wait for someone to leave. Because I could see there were people coming down the hill, right, on their hike. And I thought someone's going to be leaving soon. So I just patiently sat there. And at that moment, 11:11 pops up on my clock. And I just, I do my little sacred moment during that little window. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm sitting here in the 11:11 window, right, of time on 11:11. And I'm sitting waiting for a parking space that I don't know when it will come, but here I am sitting and waiting for it. So I took that as sort of like this sign that we are supposed to be patient and just wait, patiently wait for the opening to happen. And when that time comes, the parking spot will be available for you. And that's exactly what happened. A guy comes up with his family and he says, I'm leaving. You can have the spot if you want it. And I said, okay, great. And then I noticed as I was walking up, a lot of people were circling the parking lot and, there were police officers coming and telling them that they couldn't wait there and that they had to move. And I'm thinking, this is not an energy that we want to push hard on. We want to wait patiently. And in the meantime, breathe. Use this, see this as a gift, as a very divine gift. This portal or this window of time that we're in, okay? So get outside, go to the forest, okay? Allow the tree angels to speak to you, okay? All right, so that's a good one, forest, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna pull from the Heart Oracle, okay? And I'm just gonna shuffle that up a little bit here, and let's just see a little bit more what this window opening of time is about. The Jupiter-Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees in Aquarius. When I woke up this morning, I kind of was, picking up on some stuff this morning, and I felt like I was getting the message of this is time, like something to the effect of like, this is time that we need. That's not just me, but collectively, this is time that we need. It's almost like a leveling off and a like integrating period, okay? I just wanted to throw that out there because that was just something I was sort of picking up on this morning, okay? We need to stop and take a look at the justice theme, okay? What is fair? What is just? What is of integrity, okay? There can't be any deceptions going on behind the scenes, and I think that's all going to come out in the wash. And that seems to be the theme today with the wash machine analogy. It's all going to come out in the wash. We need the agitation to help bring justice, to bring these two planets together, these heavyweights, okay? You could look at them as the heavyweights, even though we know Jupiter's a gas giant. Okay, let's not get technical. It's big, right? So I like to call them the heavyweights, all right? All right, so let me go ahead and pull out of this deck here, okay? Oh, look at this, okay. So there's something about the energy of now, of this, well, coming up for this time period of walking through, is there's a refusal to see. And I very much think this has to do with the collective energies, a post-election, where there's just something that people do not want to see or look at about this. Okay, and I'm not trying to make this a political thing, but we can't ignore what's going on in the world stage. And this could be on both sides. So I'm not saying this is one side or the other. However, I do think that there's things that have gone on that might not be on the up and up. And I'm not going to get into that, but there's a refusal to see, okay? Okay, that's a closed third eye. That's being too much in the over logical part of our mind too, because I truly believe we see with our hearts, and we can't just see everything from the mind. We have to see things from the heart as well. So we need to connect the heart and the mind and gain some understanding through that. Okay, because if we're only seeing with the mind, we're going to live in fear. Okay, we're going to be worried, and that is a limited point of view. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing in this time period. Is we need to be able to see the truth. Jupiter is creating the agitation with Saturn, so that we can see this truth. Okay, and the refusal to see is a limitation. Okay, that's the Saturn energy. So there's a push and pull here. Okay, and we need to open up our third eye. And you see the blue shirt I'm wearing, this color I wore today. Everything I do is synchronistic. Okay, that's synchronicity is a huge part of my my readings. Okay, I work with my higher self, and so synchronicity is a big part of it. And look, the blue card, which is the third eye, right? And the blue shirt I'm wearing today, you know, it's speaking to this refusal to see. Okay? All right. So I'm going to put that there. So far we have forest, breath, and we have refusing to see. All right, I'm going to pull another card. Okay. Trust. Oh, that's a lovely card. You see her, she's just sort of like allowing herself to free fall. And she's got all this beautiful spirit energy around her, orbs, things like that, that are supporting her, okay, in the unseen. And we are being asked to trust, okay, to not be afraid, to not give in to fear, but to trust that everything is working out in our best interest always, okay. Yeah, so trust, okay. Trust, when I think of trust, I think of Taurus, okay. And remember, Uranus is in Taurus, and Uranus is this very divine, like lightning strike of energy, and it's very much related to this high vibrational source energy. So that is, we are being asked to trust, because source is working through that energy. Oh, I just thought about, yeah, I just thought about today is 11/11, and we are in, when we're working with Scorpio and Taurus, Taurus is related to the Pleiades too, the Pleiadian energy, and we're in that Pleiadian energy right now. So this is an opening or a window, and we are being supported by those other forces, those those beings, you know, those beings of light that come from the Pleiades. And this is the time where they're very super active on the planet. So we need to keep that in mind, and we just need to trust, okay? Everything is working out in our best interest. She even has that, she even looks like a Pleiadian type, okay, for those of you who are aware of those beings, okay? All right. I'm not going to get too far into that, but trust, okay? So we need this time period where things are going to still be a little bit like slowed down, and the agitation, in order to help us get our footing, okay, to be able to see things clearly and to trust, okay. We can't be moving so fast right now. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull another one. Feeling alone. Okay, there's very much this energy in the collective of feeling alone. We're separated from our families. We're in social isolation. You know, we're working in a more isolated environment. We're not able to quite, you know, do the celebrations and things the way we have in the past. And there's this feeling in the collective of very much of being alone. Okay. And that archetype you see there in the picture, that's very much like the hermit archetype. The most of the time you see the hermit archetype carrying a lantern. Okay, it's a very spiritual archetype. The hermit is pretty comfortable being alone, but sometimes we can be too much in a hermit space, and you know that can be not good for us. So, but we do need this time. That's what Aquarius Aquarians like to be alone. They tend to be detached from the, even, you know, they very much care about the collective, but there's such a duality to them, or a dichotomy in the Aquarian archetype, because they actually really like to be alone as much as they care about the collective. They like to detach. It's a very detached sign. It can even seem a little cold sometimes. Mental. It's very mental. It's mental energy, air. Even though you have the water bearer, the Aquarian archetype, it's still about a level of detachment. So you're supposed to spend some time alone, because it's going to help you heal. This is about healing, okay? We need time to sort out, to be able to open that third eye, to see what's happening clearly, to get our footing, to gain our trust, which means detaching and pulling away from the world and being alone for a time. And not everybody's comfortable being alone, okay? So cozy in, get comfortable with it, okay? Connect when you can. Still think it's important to connect when you can, okay? But come to a place of detachment and acceptance with your aloneness, okay? I think it's really healthy. I think it's actually very good. What fills your alone time? What can you do to fill you up? And you can paint, you can, run, jog, exercise, do crafts, read, study, take a class, you know, clean out your house, do whatever you need to do. Okay, it's going to be time well spent. Okay. All right. Yeah, and even that's Aquarian energy too, because you see that the water bearer, you see the water, right? Water is emotional energy. There's the moon. Okay, so this is giving us time to emotionally process everything that has to shift in order for us to move forward as an individual and as a planet. Okay. So let me move on. Let's see. Where are we on time? I don't want to spend too much time doing this because I don't like to make it too terribly long. But wherever we need to go is where we're going to go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull one more card from this Heart Oracle. Okay. Well-deserved reward. Look at this. Now, this is the second time I've seen this come up in a reading recently. I have another deck, and the same card came up with the same thing. It said, well-deserved reward. So all this stuff that we're dealing with, all this stuff we're going through, okay, there's going to be some rewards at the end of this, okay? It's going to create this really solid foundation, this pillar of energy that is strong like a tower, right? So we see that in there. You see the light, he's illuminated. We're going to feel clearer. We're going to feel lighter after having done this work. So it's a well-deserved reward. You see the 9 on the card. Even the 9 is a completion. 9 is a complete, the last number, right? Before 10, right? So 10 is just 1 and 0 together. So it's the last number. It's the last digit. This is a completion energy. When all is said and done, you will receive the benefits. Saturn, even though it brings limitations and restrictions, I'm going to get comfy here. Even though it brings limitations and restrictions, it also brings rewards when you do the hard work. It rewards your efforts, okay? Jupiter is the great benefic, so just Jupiter by its nature brings blessings and love and grace, okay? And from source, it's big, okay? It's all about blessings, okay? So this is going to be a very well-deserved reward in the end. So do the work that it takes. Work with these energies, okay? Okay, that's awesome. Wow. Okay, I really like that. That's something to look forward to, okay? So the time spent alone, learning to trust and to see things clearly is going to be very well spent, okay? Okay, sorry, I was just thinking about what I want to do next. I'm going to pull one more card from this deck. Ah, look at this! Coming together. So this is about healing relationships, okay? This time we're in. So that's so perfect because you see the two energies, Saturn and Jupiter working together. Let me find that card. So there's this feeling alone, that's Saturn, and then there's this coming together, right? The blessings, Jupiter. So you see the agitation between the two energies. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. So it's not going to last forever, friends. Okay, there will be a time of coming together, and boy, will that be great, like a renaissance, right? And Aquarius, I think of that as like a renaissance energy. Okay, it's very progressive and innovative, and you think about the Renaissance, and that was a time of great progress, and the golden age is a time of great progress. So I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Yeah, so that's super cool. Okay, let's see where else I want to go now. Okay, I have this, I'm going to pull from the Angels and Ancestors deck. And this is going to be kind of a wrap-up card. And I have actually one more card I want to pull from the Tree Angels Oracle deck. Since we're out here with the trees. And the trees sort of seem to have some messages for us. So, okay, that's just an exclamation point on the same theme. Hermit. Did I talk about the Hermit? Retreat and recharge. Can the message be any clearer, friends? This is a time for us to retreat and recharge our energy, okay? We are integrating a lot. We are getting, there's so much healing going on. And we always get energetic upgrades to our bodies, to our energetic systems, our electrical system within our body when we go through these, shifts and changes. And so we need the downtime, the time to heal, and the time to retreat and recharge in order to really integrate these energies and light codes come in and all these wonderful things that help us prepare to move forward. Okay, and if you can do detoxification, cleanses, healthy diet, drinking plenty of water, getting the rest, these all help with the process. Okay. That's so awesome. Yeah, I love that. All right. So now I'm going to pull from this Tree Angel Oracle deck. And there's a little book that goes with it that has some really great explanations. So I might read from that book and just see what it says. We'll see. Okay. Shuffle that one up. This is going to be just like a kind of a finality to the reading. Okay. Juniper, okay? Look at that beautiful image of juniper. Oh, let me look at that. This is a new deck for me, so I haven't had it that long. I'm going to put my glasses on to take a look at this because it's so subtle. Wow. You see that there's the light codes coming in, okay? You see the art, and then you see the crown and the very sacred hands over the chest. Wow, it's really beautiful. There's a lot of heart healing happening here. Okay, and the number is 10. We pulled a 9 before, and now we see 10. 10 is 1, right? When you add them together. So it's like a reset, okay? That's a reset. Okay, let me find 10 and see what it says. Okay. 10. For some reason I'm having a little trouble. There it is. Okay, juniper. Okay. And some of the themes for juniper are stride forward or hold firm. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Stride forward would be like Jupiter, wanting to make progress, move forward, expand, grow. Or hold firm, which is very Saturn-like, right? Holding firm. It's like no, saying no sometimes, right? Give what life asks you. Enter the balance. This is a balancing between the two energies. Oh my gosh, look at this. The next description. Enter the balance between destiny and freedom. Wow. So we have the two, right? Destiny and freedom. So we're finding the balance between where we are supposed to go and attaining freedom, okay? There's a revolutionary energy in Aquarius. So like I natally have Mars in Aquarius, and right away that just gives me a little bit of that revolutionary energy. Mine is in my 4th house, so it's more private and internalized. It's my house of home. So it's not like I'm necessarily out there, you know, joining in protests or anything like that, but it's a very internal and a soul. It's on a soul level, okay? So Saturn in Aquarius is going to bring this energy also. So in order to choose freedom, we need to balance out the restrictions that are being imposed on us, okay? Release what doesn't serve you. This is the purpose of the hermit. This is the purpose of being quiet, of being still, of taking a breath, okay? Yet stand in the gale and walk your truth. Truth, Sagittarius, which is Jupiter, right? The planet Jupiter. It's all about truth. Duty gives way to devotion. Wow. That is so perfect for this. Duty is Saturn, the planet of duty and obligation, right? Devotion. Devotion is about, you know, love, source, truth. Okay? So the hard work that you do now with Saturn is going to give way to the devotion, all right? It's like if you enter a love relationship and you're entering, you know, there's things within certain relationships. It could be a relationship with anyone. It doesn't have to be a romantic love, but there's always this sense of duty in relationships, right? Where we're obligated to others and we have to do certain things. But isn't it so wonderful when that duty gives way to devotion, where you're not doing something because you have to do it or out of obligation, but you're doing something because you are devoted to that person. And that's ideal, okay? So, wow. Okay, I like that. It shows the balance between the two, okay? I'm going to read about Juniper now. The Juniper wears a serious expression, Saturn, yet one that is also seriously beautiful. Juniper has all the attentiveness and powers of observation of the spiritual warrior, combined with the patience and devotion required to stand alone on the moor and keep watch for us all. Wow. Remember the being alone energy in the hermit? The wind tugs at its leaves, a feather whirls past, and Juniper looks into the distance and sees everything. The tarot card just came up in my mind of the one where, I think it's the Two of Wands, where there's a man holding a globe of the earth and he's looking off into the distance. I'm thinking of that, the two, right? The two planets. There are occasions when we need to act and others when we should bide our time. It is not that the Juniper is passive, but rather that it has mastered the art of patience. It holds out and holds true. It doesn't feel weary, nor does it feel self-pity. Juniper knows destiny because it is at one with destiny. It deals with the inevitable out of devotion rather than duty. Juniper gives its whole being, its whole life to service. Its life itself is a gift. Without any hidden agendas or quest for personal gain, it gives because it loves, without so much as a whisper of this love on its lips. Juniper's willingness extends far beyond any personal desire, and it is always willing, even when it meets us with silence. If the angel of Juniper comes to you, duty becomes devotion. Fulfill your duty, and you will be fulfilled. Wow. I mean, oh, there's more here. But I just have to stop at that point because the Saturn, that's completely indicative of Saturn, about how duty, the hard work and the efforts we put forth, gives way to devotion. Okay, and so think about your relationships, because that did come up, right? The coming together card, you know, where you know, the hard work we do with others definitely pays off. Okay, I feel like I'm rambling now, but I love that. It's just amazing. Okay. It's very much about selfless, unconditional love, too. Okay. And so that's where we're going to, that one card that talks about, let me find that. This one. This is what Saturn brings, well-deserved rewards for your hard work. Okay? All right. Awesome. Saintly patience and incredible stamina will be yours, along with tenacity, perseverance, and uncompromising steadfastness. Where Juniper's blessings are missing, we see pig-headedness and defiance. Aha, watch out for that one, because that's the downside of Saturn, right? That's the the stubbornness. Okay? We charge blindly into walls because we lose sight of what we can and cannot change. We waste energy through empty defiance. And without devotion, we become arrogant and bored with life. Okay? So Saturn can do that. So be careful that you don't look at this time as like, oh gosh, it's so boring, you know. Like, the limitations and the restrictions are giving you an opportunity to rest and breathe. And how often do you hear people talking about that, and how much they need that, and how life has been too before this, how it was too much to deal with, and too many expectations are imposed and placed on us. So use this time, friends. Okay? Wow. Well, that's a good place to end our reading. And wow, so much good stuff came through related to that Jupiter-Saturn energy in Aquarius. So anyway, have a great 11/11, everybody. Have a great winter solstice. We're moving towards that window of time now. And this time of year, the energies always kind of get, sort of ramped up. And you can look at it as we're going through the birth canal, right? There's this pressurization and squeezing, right? The agitation. It's the well-deserved reward. What happens when you go through the birth canal? You have a beautiful baby at the end. So I know I'm being sort of silly with my analogies, but I just wanted to make the point clear. Ramble. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. Namaste.